on the 19th of September last year, the proposed development at the Garden Route Dam was given environmental approval. The project includes a university, commercial property and housing, but a number of organizations and individuals are against the project. The community fears a possible sewage pollution and stormwater runoff into the city's only water source, impacting on natural biodiversity and environmentally sensitive areas. Now, Aldrin Sampear will be looking at this particular issue on Unfiltered this evening. Aldrin, on paper, this seemed to look good, but when you listen to the community, it might be something else. So was there no feasibility study done here?
Well, the government maintains that the feasibility study was done, and if you look at the appeals that have been lodged as well, actually over the weekend they have now responded to some of those appeals that have been lodged, and the MEC for the Western Cape Local Government, Environmental Affairs and Development Planning, Bradell, wrote back to those people who are opposing this new development, and he says that as it stands, the environmental authorization remains intact, meaning that the development will go ahead, and this development includes, for instance, mixed housing. There's a university or research campus that is expected to be built in this development, as well as a hotel that is to be built. So the question really is this a tug war between development, as we know that you sometimes have to strike a balance between development as well as protecting the environment. So this tug war that we're dealing with here, is it a case of the rich trying to ensure the exclusivity of their lifestyle and make sure that that still remains intact, or is there really a deep concern relating to the biodiversity in the area and also looking at some of the indigenous species and species that are also endangered in the George area, including the fauna and flora like the fynbos? So later on this evening on SABC 3 Unfiltered, I will be joined by Desiree Dupree, who is an environmental scientist. We're also joined by community member Tracy Farrell, who will be part of the conversation, and the ANC's Bonisile Hani from the ANC Ward 15 in George will also be joining us for this conversation. We have invited the Western Cape government as well as the George municipality to be part of the conversation, but they say because of the looming court action, they won't be part of this conversation this evening.
And interesting one on community and activism, and one can't help but think of, Amadiba Crisis Committee, for example, and there's been so many of these cases that we've seen. That's Aldrin Sampear. They're coming to us, of course, live at 8:30. He will be on Unfiltered. Now, this is a heated conversation. If you've been following this particular story, it's been going back and forth, and I wonder, what the community then thinks about the fact that the government is saying a study was done. So quite a lot, is going to be coming out of this particular discussion.